All 20 teams in their boxes, ready to head off in the second Nike Team Nationals. Bob, it's about 39 degrees. The wind has died down and it's just spitting rain. It's a lot better than it was yesterday.
Well, the wind died down is at least something positive for today.
And off we go. Now, the two top teams in each of 8 regions were automatic qualifiers. Then the selection committee chose 4 at-large teams on both the boys and girls sides to round out the 20 teams competing in each race. 7 runners from each team will compete, but only the top 5 will score. And like always in cross-country, low score wins. Bob, it's always a Oklahoma land rush, that first quarter mile in cross-country, from the high school level all the way up to World Cross.
Well, with the field so big in cross-country, you really need to get out hard to get your position, the position you want to run in most of the race. But with the mud today, it's a bit of a balance. You still need that position, but if you go out too fast in the mud, you're going to pay later.
You know, Elmhurst, Illinois, our defending champions, literally went out in 5th position after the 1-kilometer mark last year, moved up to 3rd place after 2K, and assumed the lead at 3 kilometers. And we will find out whether that sort of strategy works again this year, when the conditions last year were muddy, but not quite this horrendous. Steve Murdock from Saratoga leads the charge. He's their #1 man.
And there are 4 teams out of the Northeast. They have competed against each other all fall long, and they're hardened by competition. None of them are undefeated.
Looks like they're running on top of the lake, which was not there a week ago. And look at the lead that Murdock has established. I think, you know, last week at the Northeast Regionals for the Foot Locker Championships, he fell at the 2,000-meter mark and did not finish the race. I think that's having some impact on him going out hard.
Well, he's certainly taking a chance because this course is muddy. We've already established that. But if he probably thinks if he can get out and stay out in front, that no one's going to be able to catch him because they're not going to be able to get through the mud either.
There are 4 of these moto hills, which are man-made on this course, and they were meant to be something to break up the monotony of a flat racetrack course. As it turns out, they're the driest part of the course, accordingly, the fastest. And now we look at the results after 1 kilometer, and in the lead is Manlius Cross Country. All pretty close. Last year, Manlius was in 2nd place at the 1-kilometer mark with 113 points. This year, they've got 110. A 26-point margin right now. Simi Valley in 2nd. Meade Cross Country of Washington in 3rd, and Elmhurst, defending champion, in 4th.
That's number 160, John Williams, Yankton's lead runner, and his team's in 5th place right now. Next to him is Manlius' 4th runner, John Herrett, and that is why they are leading the race. They have 4 runners in the top 25. Their 5th man's in 42nd, but their 6th man is in 114th place. They're a top-heavy team with no room for error.
Again, that's Saratoga's lead runner, Stephen Murdock, slugging it out in front. Tom Grunwald in 2nd for Manlius. Simi Valley is in 2nd place as a team at 136 points. All 5 of their men are in the top 36. But they've got good backup in their 6th and 7th men. So if somebody falters, they've got good backup. And look how deep that water is. And if that's not enough, they give you a series of 3 hay bales, which are no problem in this first lap, Bob, but they'll be cursing it later on.
They absolutely will. Those hay bales may be 2 feet off the ground. They're going to feel like they're 5 feet off the ground the second time around.
Well,
and for him, 5 feet right now.
That was a Yankton runner going down. And they're passing 2 kilometers. Murdock of Saratoga in the lead. Grunwald of Manlius and Jack Bolus of Chapel Hill in 3rd.
And there's Elmhurst Detman twins, Eric and Matt in 7th and 10th place. And the team score should be coming up shortly. And there they are. Elmhurst takes the lead with 137 points. Manlius is 2 points back, losing 29 points in that 2nd kilometer.
Tom Grunwald continues to run 2nd overall, top man for Manlius. Tight team battle. More from the Nike Team Nationals right after this timeout. Welcome back to the 2nd Nike Team Nationals. Tony Revis along with Bob Kennedy. And we have a 4-man breakaway. Jack Bolus from Chapel Hill, Noah Shannon from Fort Collins Cross Country, and Kenny Klotz from Portland, Oregon. And fading a little bit now, Tom Grunwald from Manlius. And we're past the 3-kilometer mark at this point.
At 3K, we have a tie between Elmhurst and Saratoga at 131 points. Saratoga was in 7th place at 1 kilometer. They moved up to 4th at 2K and now have reeled Elmhurst in. Manlius is in 3rd, only 4 points back. It's going to be an exciting team battle over the last 2K.
Now, Saratoga, remember, is one of the at-large selections from the Northeast, but they're the big movers in this race like Elmhurst was last year when they won the title. And their big gun is Greg Kiley, their 3rd man. You know, he was 81st at 1 kilometer. He moved up to 47th at 2K, and now 20 more places. He's in 27th at 3K. That's just extraordinary stuff.
It's extraordinary in dry conditions, but in these conditions, it's even more amazing. We talked early about the mud sapping the energy out of you and the balance of going out too fast and too slow. In fact, our 3 individual leaders and Elmhurst and Saratoga as a teams took it gradual. They were not out hard in the first couple kilometers.
You know, the motto of the Nike Team Nationals is every teammate counts, and we're seeing that in action here today. And look at that slop. That is shin deep, and these aren't short guys. What do we make of these 3 guys here, Bob? I mean, 2 real tall guys, and Kenny Klotz just sitting in the saddle.
Well, Kenny, he's used to these conditions. He's from Portland. He's nice and low to the ground. He keeps the center of gravity straight. Oh, and Jack Bolus is on the ground. He's recovered nicely. He decided not to jump over the last bale of hay.
And Bob, you know, when action happens on the course's rhythm is broken, someone makes a move. It's almost inevitable. And now we see Noah Shannon from Fort Collins making a little move on Kenny Klotz from Portland.
And they're the Detman twins from Elmhurst. They're in 6th and 10th place. Elmhurst is still tied with surprise at-large team Saratoga, heading towards the 4K mark.
Manly is in 3rd place, and remember their 5th man, Luke Fitzgibbons, went from 42nd place at 2K to 66th place at 3K. He lost 22 points and now has lost another 9 places. That's gotta hurt. Now Bolus is caught back up to our 2 leaders. In fact, Kenny Klotz from Portland has assumed the lead.
And Klotz is pressing. He's really starting to put the pressure on, testing those guys out. Oh, and another one down.
That's Steve Murdock. He's in 5th place from Saratoga, their #1 man. You know, he was the leader through 2K, slipped back to 5th place, and he's obviously getting tired. Right behind him in 6th and 7th, Saratoga's #2 man, Greg Kelsey, and Deshaun Turner from Warren of Indianapolis.
And team scores at 4K, a huge turnaround. Saratoga in the lead with 109 points, taking a commanding lead over New York State rival Manlius with 141. Elmhurst has slipped to 3rd with 145 points.
Saratoga with 4 in the top 25. The #1 man, Steve Murdock, in the 5th position. Greg Kelsey in 7th. Greg Kiley, 12 more spots up to 15th position. Remember, he started in 81st place. This guy's going to win if it's a 10K.
And that's been the difference in the team scores, Tony. And they're the Detman twins from Elmhurst doing everything they can. You know, I think it's been Saratoga moving up very nicely as opposed to Elmhurst and Manlius moving back.
Well, Elmhurst lost 14 points in that last kilometer. Nothing dramatic, but just enough. And the same thing goes for Manlius cross country. They leaked away 6 points in that 4th kilometer.
Saratoga and Manlius have swapped victories over the last few weeks. Saratoga upset Manlius at the New York Public School Championships, and Manlius avenged that loss 2 weeks later at the New York Federation Championships.
It was the first time in 2 years that Manlius has lost in the Northeast. Their coach, Bill Ayers, said it was better than any victory because it woke his team up.
And there's Saratoga's 4th man, Andrew Bangert, in 25th place. And close behind him, in the green uniform and hat, is Manlius' 4th runner, Owen Kimple. And he's trying to cover Bangert's moves. It's a battle of 4th men. But up front, Saratoga's first 2 runners have 11 points, compared to Manlius' first 2 runners having 21 points.
In the 5th man position, Saratoga has 18 points on the Manlius #5 man. And that's your difference in score. Better top end and better 5th man for Saratoga.
And the mud just keeps getting thicker. And Portland's Kenny Klotz looks very strong. He is keeping the pressure on. Jack Bolus is trying to hang on as long as possible.
And we will bring the boys home right after this timeout. Stick around.
I was standing in that box,
telling myself, I belong here. I've worked for this.
You just feel your heart pounding. When that gun goes off,
instincts take over.
You're going tree to tree.
Stay focused, keeping the pressure on, keeping the pressure on.
My heart is pumping really
And the
fast.
crowd is going crazy. I remember making a real bold move. It just blew the race wide open.
You just see that tape coming.
Keep running and don't look back.
It's solidified in my mind that I can compete with anyone.
Welcome back to the second Nike Team Nationals from the Portland Meadows Racetrack, or Portland Meadows Race Bog. Entering the final stretch of the 5-kilometer boys race, Portland's Kenny Klotz in the red trying to hold off Chapel Hill, North Carolina's Jack Bolus. Both are state champions, but right now it looks like the hometown boy, Kenny Klotz, has got just enough to win the Nike Team National individual title. But this is about team competition, and all these boys back here are struggling for everything they've got. There's an Elmhurst cross-country yellow riding on a green singlet. June Reigel in all black of Simi Valley just crosses the screen.
And Kenny Klotz is pulling away from Jack Bolus with great turnover. He takes the outside line instead of going through the water, and he's powering to the tape.
Kenny Klotz is going to be right around 16 minutes and 25 seconds. The great Kenyan champion, Paul Tergat on the left, holding the tape. He just won the ING New York City Marathon, a 5-time world cross-country champion. Second place goes to Jack Bolus of Chapel Hill. Noah Shannon from Fort Collins in third. And this is the effort these boys give. Nothing left at the line. Tom Grunwald holding on for fourth for Manlius cross country. One of our leading teams, the Taylor Nippon from Meade cross country out of Spokane. Deshaun Turner from Warren, Robert Cosby from Spokane. And on they come. Now it's about team battles. And look what these guys do. And it's a war zone here.
And here's Nick Kuzwara in 47th place. He's normally Elmhurst's number 3 man. He's in 5th for them today, and that's going to hurt the team score.
That's Jack Bolus trying to cheer on his teammates. They're all a mess. Burning every ounce of energy. We look at the individual results. 1 minute and 4 seconds slower this year from last year when it was also muddy, but nothing like this.
And there's Elmhurst's 4th runner, Mike Fry, in 45th place.
But it's not enough. Saratoga wins it with 111 points. Elmhurst and Manly is tied at 134, and Bob is down with the Saratoga coach.
Linda Cranette, one of the coaches of Saratoga. You're known for your women's program, and your men's program pulled off a national championship today.
We are so proud and so excited about this. First, I'm just the coach who does the talking. My husband, Art, is the head coach, so I just have to say that. But anyway, they did an awesome job. It was a guts race, and they had the guts today.
Well, you needed the guts in this conditions today. We'll look forward to seeing your girls' team run later.
So am I.
Now let's look at our team results. And the Saratoga MVP goes to Greg Kiley. He went from 81st place at 1 kilometer all the way up to 11th place at the end. Elmhurst, defending champions, takes Manlius for second place based on a better 6th man performance.